goodies. Hope you are having a very good day. So today let's try to learn with some ease. So this is going to be a very short video where I am going to introduce two numbers. We all play with numbers. We all learn with numbers. We are all learning numbers daily. So why not just go a little deep into it? So let's see what are the numbers. I have written certain names here, starting with natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, real numbers, and yes, it's still there, continuing more. So, let's see what are these numbers in our first video. To start with, natural numbers. I know you all started counting from a very young age, starting to count that box of chocolates you got, right? One, two, three, four, and they goes, right? So those counting numbers which you started counting by one, two, three, four is together known as natural numbers. So I'm going to represent natural numbers as n, and the set of numbers used to count is represented in a curved brackets as 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes on till we don't know. It's just infinity. Now let's come to whole numbers. Okay, now what's the difference between this natural numbers and whole numbers? Just a slight difference. We are going to include one special guy into this category, and that is none other than the special number Mr. Zero. Individually, he seems nothing, but with other numbers, he can play magic. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and there it again continues to infinity. This set of numbers is called as the whole numbers, which we represent as W. Next comes the integers. Now, who's this guy? This is someone new. So, sometimes when you go to some countries where it's extremely cold, you probably heard your mom or dad saying, okay, the temperature is negative 5 degrees Celsius, the temperature is minus 3 degrees Celsius. Have you ever wondered what is this minus and negative? Okay, forget that. Let's go to the elevator of the building. Have you ever noticed in the elevator sometimes you see a negative number written, like a -1 or a -2, where it is below, like the basement? Such numbers are also included in this category. So integers means you have some negative numbers, or just not get confused. Negative numbers means you'll see a minus symbol in front of them, like -3 is the example. And along with the negative numbers, you will have the positive numbers, like all the natural numbers that we discussed. And in between, we have the super zero also, which means integers can be written as -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and there it goes on, represented by the letter Z or Z. So don't worry about integers. We can go into detail to integers when we are specifically discussing about that. And at the last, I have included real numbers, which includes a combination of all this and much more. So when I say much more, you might be wondering, what else numbers are there? Is it not over? Yeah, it's not over. There are more numbers, and let's see what are those more numbers. These are the few other numbers now we can look into: decimals and fractions. These are a little different from the other numbers which we already discussed. Most of the other numbers were a complete whole number. Yeah, the second number which I mentioned, whole number. Okay, now if you look at the examples of these decimals and fractions, you might be able to find the difference between the whole numbers and these numbers, which I like to call as part numbers. Why part numbers? Because actually they seem to be a part of something. So let's focus with decimals. Let's see some examples of decimals. So probably when you look into a weighing machine, or when you're going to the shop with your mom for shopping and you see the weighing scale, you might see the digital number showing some values like this, like a 35 and a dot and a 9 kilogram. So have you ever wondered what numbers are those? Those are actually decimals. So they are not complete whole numbers. It shows a whole number along with an extra part to it. So in this example, 35 is the complete whole number, and then you have a little bit extra, a small part added to it, which is the point 0.9. So that's why I like to call them as the part numbers. You can see the same example when you go to the petrol pumps or the fuel stations. You can see when you are filling the diesel or the fuel in the screen, you will see the number or the price may be something like this: 30 and a dot and a 50. Again, it's a 30 whole, and then added to it is a small part of something else. So again, I like to call them as part numbers, and this particular part number is known as decimals. Now comes the second part number, fractions. And yeah, you read it correct. Let's have some pizza. So you all love pizza. And when you order the pizza, you can see that normally we get the pizza as some slices. You have a big circle and it is cut into number of slices, because I'm sure you won't be able to eat the complete pizza, right? You'll definitely eat maybe one slice, and if you're so hungry, maybe two, right? Yeah. So if you're having two slices, you can see there are total 8 slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And out of the 8 slices, you just had 2, which we'll write as 2 over an 8. This is what is fractions. So again, it's a part number, right? You don't have the 8 complete slices, not the whole 8, just 2 out of the 8. So that's a part number, and that's again called fractions. Or maybe if you have some test in school, maybe you might have seen your teacher putting marks like this, like 90 out of 100, like this, or maybe 100 out of 100, right? So that's again fractions. So these numbers are also equally important for us, and don't worry, we'll be looking into detail into each of these topics later on.